I'm sitting in the front of an SUV that stole the show here at the 2023 Los Angeles Auto Show. And this is the new 2025 Lucid Gravity SUV. This is an SUV that most of us have been waiting for a very long time. It's a three-row all-electric SUV from the company, a new company, Lucid. They already have a sedan called the Air, and the Air is a technological tour de force of an electric vehicle. But I think this is what they should have built from the very beginning, because SUVs and California and United States go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. And finally, Lucid is coming out with this particular design. Let's take a look at the interior, because this is, the primary reason for this. You could put up to 7 people in here. Right now, this is displaying a full flat floor in the Gravity, because you could put the third row all the way down into the floor, and the second row folds super flat. I mean, look how flat that is. You can put a surfboard in here, mountain bike, any number of configurations. And like I said, 7-person config. So 2 up front, 3 in the middle row, and 2 in the very, very back row. And they're saying this is 112 cubic feet of total cargo volume this way, with the seats folded down. So what does that mean, 112 cubic feet? Well, in their presentation here, let's step over here so you can see the side of this car, this SUV. They're calling it an SUV, even though it could be described as a tow wagon, right? I mean, I'm 6'3", I'm way taller than this thing. This has a height adjustable suspension. They're calling it an SUV. You could call it a crossover or an all-wheel drive wagon, but they're saying it has 1,500 pounds of payload, 6,000 pounds of maximum towing capacity. It's rolling on 22s, and 112 cubic feet of volume is approaching where the Chevy Tahoe cargo volume is. And Chevy Tahoe currently has 122 cubic feet of total interior volume when you fold down 2 rows of seats. By the way, they don't want me opening doors. These are early prototypes. I can show you some interior shots from the other prototype they have here on the stand. But now let's talk about how they enabled it, right? So let's walk around this way so we can get in line. There's a lot going on here. This is still super popular vehicle. It stole the show here. There's a crazy amount of people right here on the stand. Let's walk here. Excuse us, please. Excuse us. Here's another look at the front of this vehicle. So Lucid really prides itself on technology. That means the way they package batteries, the efficiency, also their motor design, electric motor design. Of course, dual motors front and rear. They're saying upwards of 800 combined horsepower for this SUV. Of course, all-wheel drive performance. They're calling it no compromise. You can kind of see the front camera here as well. I think that's also a place where some of the sensors for driver assistance technologies live. And there's a frunk, like you saw in the very beginning, of about 8 cubic feet of total frunk volume. But they pride themselves on this high-tech componentry, including motors. There's actually a motor over there. I may be able to show it to you, but it's miniature, it's very power dense, and that's why this car exists. The Sapphire Lucid Air sedan with a 1,234 horsepower all-wheel drive performance is because their packaging is really amazing. They have miniature, very small and powerful motors and batteries. And they're saying now for the Gravity, they will be able to deliver upwards of 440 miles of range on this battery, which is not very big, approximately 122 kilowatt hours of battery. And that means about 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour in this very large vehicle for 7 people. So those are big claims. We haven't tested those claims, obviously. Actually, I want to show you the interior. I want to get in here. Can I have just 1 minute? I'm on video, so
Go ahead.
I appreciate that. You can see the different, several different screens. Just 1 second. This is a curved OLED screen right there, and they're saying you can have different themes. You can have an ocean, you can have a forest, you can have, of course, navigation. You can also have minimal view, so it's not distracting. There's a gigantic panoramic sunroof here. You could see it's similar to a Model X in some ways as far as the front windscreen area, because there is a sun visor here, but you can also look through this panoramic sunroof upwards, and there's also a panoramic sunroof for the rear passengers. So really open feeling, luxurious interior. And like I said, all the technologies are here. And of course, there's some keys and climate control system, a glass center console top, which is very fancy. And this will also be able to retract, unveil cup holders. The steering wheel is almost this oval shape, still a steering wheel, not a yoke. And controllers here in the front of the steering wheel, also very, very unique. And this is the reverse park and drive transmission, basically stock. It's not a transmission because it's electric, but the control is right here on the right. And yeah, I fit. I'm just about 6'3". I fit perfectly in here. Let me get out and we can finish with price. Thank you very much. Let me go here. Excuse me, I was just gonna say something. And the back seater space is also pretty humongous. And I was showing you over there, this folds flat all the way down, and three across sitting. And actually, this height is very super. My legs are really nice and comfortable here. There's an additional screen and vents in the center as well. They announced price, so let me finish with this. Excuse me. So pricing, they said the Gravity will start when it goes on sale in late 2024, which is about a year from now. The base price they mentioned is $80,000, which is, considering what this car is a good price, but they may not start with that base model. They may introduce like this Dream Edition, right, which is a very fancy one. They may start with more expensive models that are maybe even over $100,000, and then a little bit later, the $80,000 version will arrive. So many manufacturers do this. Lucid is not the only one, where they announce the price, but initially the vehicles that are launched first are more expensive, and then the more affordable shows up a little bit later because they need to, they're a new company, they need to productionalize it. And finally, I promised you a motor, so I want to show you this. By the way, they called the Gravity the no compromise SUV, and they said about 95% of off-road trips that common people do, this will do. Well, these are not off-road tires on these models. These are Michelin's and 22-inch wheels. So you won't be able to do a terrible amount of off-roading, especially boulder crawling, even though it's height adjustable and it could extend. There's Peter Rawlinson, the CEO of Lucid. Even though you can raise it up, still you need the traction and the tires and the all-wheel drive system to be able to handle off-roading. So it will not be a rock crawler, but at least it will have some gravel road and forest road capability. And this is what I'm talking as far as motor design. This is kind of an exploded view. So this section here, this is the electric drive unit out of a Lucid vehicle. So if you can imagine all these kind of stacking inside each other and kind of enclosing in, and you can see, this is the size of a small carry-on once everything is compressed. And this is their differential. Little tiny one, still capable of a lot of power delivery, but very, very tiny. So This is all we have so far. It'll tow about 6,000 pounds, 1,500 pounds of payload, 440 miles on a smallish battery, relatively speaking. This is the world premiere of the Lucid Gravity. Thanks for joining me. Check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive in one place. We have a lot more news coming at you very soon.